The universe buries strange jewels deep within us all, and then stands back to see if we can find them. Elizabeth Gilbert, what if I told you that you, yes you, were born with a divine purpose far greater than you can even imagine? What if you were chosen by the universe itself to walk a path few others ever will? It's a path fraught with challenges, mysteries, and tests. Secret tests that only the truly chosen can pass. Welcome to this sacred moment, where we are going to uncover the 10 secret spiritual tests that only the chosen ones pass. This is not a video for everyone. No, this is for those who have felt the call, who have endured the struggle, and who have wondered why their journey has been so uniquely difficult. If you've ever felt that nagging sense that there's more to your life than the ordinary, that you've been called to something greater, then stay with me. You're here for a reason. Now I must be clear, this video is not for the faint of heart. If you've never wondered about the depths of your soul, if you're content to live a life of quiet conformity, then it's better you move on to something else. This message is reserved for the ones who feel as though the universe has cast them aside for a divine task. Those who feel a deep, gnawing truth that they are here to awaken. If that resonates with you, then this video is for you. And trust me, by the end of it, you will understand more about your journey than you ever have before. These tests will unlock a truth within you that could change the way you view everything, including yourself. You see, the chosen ones don't always have an easy path. In fact, you might have felt alone, misunderstood, or abandoned by the world. But what the world doesn't tell you is that these very challenges are the tests that shape you, mold you, and ultimately awaken your divine purpose. What's more, you've probably felt at times that you were failing, that you couldn't pass the tests the universe threw at you. You may have doubted yourself. You may have even questioned your worth, your value, and your very reason for being here. I assure you, you're passing those tests, even when you think you're failing. It's just that no one ever told you the rules until now. So I'm going to ask you to commit. Stick with me through this entire video, because what you hear in these next few minutes will not only make sense of your past, but it will also show you how to rise in your divine power. If you're ready to understand what it truly means to be one of the chosen ones, and if you're ready to awaken to your fullest potential, then this video will change your life. It's time to embrace your journey. It's time to uncover the 10 secret spiritual tests that only the chosen ones pass. Let's begin. The essence of being a chosen one. What does it mean to be a chosen one? This is a question that echoes through the hearts of those who feel an undeniable pull towards something greater. It's not about privilege or perfection. It's about purpose. To be chosen is to walk a path of profound spiritual awakening, a journey that is as challenging as it is transformative. Chosen ones are set apart, often from a very young age. Perhaps you've always felt different, like you don't quite fit into the mold society creates. Maybe you've questioned your place in the world, or sensed that there's something extraordinary you are meant to do. This isn't mere imagination. It's the divine whisper of your higher calling. Being chosen doesn't mean life is easier. In fact, it's often the opposite. Your experiences may feel heavier, your challenges more intense, and your questions deeper. But this isn't a punishment. These trials are part of your spiritual curriculum, designed to awaken the latent gifts within you. Each challenge is a stepping stone, leading you closer to your purpose. At the core of being a chosen one is a profound connection to the divine. This isn't about religion or dogma. It's about an inner knowing, a tether to something greater than yourself. It's a quiet, persistent voice that says, "You are here for a reason." This reason is often tied to elevating not just yourself, but also the world around you. Chosen ones are often called to be healers, teachers, or guides, helping others find their own paths to awakening. But make no mistake, being chosen is not about being better than others. It's about being willing to grow, willing to face the darkness within and without, willing to evolve into the highest version of yourself. The essence of being a chosen one is this: you were chosen not because you are flawless, but because you are ready to rise above your flaws. It's not an easy path, but it's a sacred one. And if you're here listening to this, it means you are ready to walk it. Test 1. The test of isolation. One of the first and most profound spiritual tests that every chosen one must face is the test of isolation. It's as if the universe deliberately separates you from everything and everyone you know, leaving you with nothing but your own thoughts and the silence of your soul. At first it feels cruel. You might ask, why me? Why am I being left out, cast aside, or abandoned? But what you don't realize is that this is not punishment. It's preparation. Isolation is the crucible where the chosen ones are forged. It strips away distractions, forcing you to confront yourself and your deeper truths. You see, when you are surrounded by noise, be it people, routines, or societal expectations, you can lose sight of your own voice. The test of isolation removes those layers, leaving you to face your raw, unfiltered self. It's here that your spiritual journey truly begins. This test often manifests in different ways. You may feel physically isolated with relationships falling away or opportunities drying up. Or you may feel emotionally alone, even in a crowded room, as if no one truly understands you. Either way, the purpose is the same: to lead you inward. In the silence of isolation, the divine speaks the loudest. But how do you pass this test? By embracing the solitude instead of resisting it. Understand that this period is a sacred invitation to grow closer to your true self and to the divine. Use this time to cultivate spiritual practices like meditation, journaling, or prayer. Reflect on who you are without the labels society has placed on you. Most importantly, trust the process. The isolation won't last forever, though it may feel endless in the moment. When you emerge, you will do so with a clearer sense of purpose and a stronger connection to your inner power. Remember, the chosen ones are set apart so they can rise above. Isolation is not the end of your journey. It's the beginning of your transformation. When you embrace this test, you prove to the universe and to yourself that you are ready for the next step in your spiritual awakening. Test 2. The test of betrayal. The test of betrayal is one of the most painful spiritual trials a chosen one will endure. It strikes at the core of your trust, shaking the foundation of your relationships and even your faith in life itself. Betrayal doesn't just hurt, it carves deep wounds, leaving you questioning who you can trust and whether you can ever let your guard down again. But as agonizing as it may be, betrayal is a powerful teacher, and its lessons are crucial for your spiritual growth. Betrayal often comes from those closest to you, friends, family, or trusted partners. The people you believed in the most are the very ones who let you down, leaving you feeling abandoned and disillusioned. You may even feel betrayed by life or the divine when things fall apart, despite your efforts to stay true to your path. It's as if the universe itself has turned against you. But here's the truth. Betrayal is not meant to destroy you. It's meant to awaken you. This test forces you to turn inward, to rebuild your sense of trust, not in others, but in yourself and your connection to the divine. Betrayal teaches you to see beyond illusions, to discern truth from falsehood, and to anchor yourself in your own power rather than relying on external validation. How do you pass this test? By understanding that betrayal is never about your worth, it's about your growth. The pain you feel is real, but it is also a doorway to deeper strength and wisdom. To move through it, you must first allow yourself to grieve. Acknowledge the hurt, but don't let it define you. Next, practice forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean condoning the betrayal or forgetting what happened. It means releasing the heavy burden of resentment so that it no longer controls you. Forgive not to free the betrayer, but to free yourself. Finally, trust again, but this time, trust with discernment. Let betrayal sharpen your intuition and guide you toward relationships and paths that align with your higher purpose. Remember, the test of betrayal is not a punishment, it's a divine initiation. It breaks you open so that you can rebuild stronger, wiser, and more attuned to your true self. Betrayal is not the end, it's a new beginning. Pass this test, and you will emerge with a resilience that no one can take from you. Test 3. The test of repeated patterns. Have you ever felt stuck in a cycle, living through the same painful situations over and over again? It might feel like life is playing a cruel joke, but this is no accident. This is the test of repeated patterns, a spiritual trial designed to highlight lessons you haven't yet mastered. For chosen ones, these patterns are not punishments. They are mirrors reflecting the wounds, beliefs, and behaviors that still need healing. Repeated patterns often show up in relationships, work, or personal habits. You might find yourself attracted to the same toxic dynamics, stuck in jobs that drain you, or struggling with recurring inner battles like self-doubt or fear. It feels as though no matter what you do, you keep ending up back in the same place. Why? Because the universe will keep presenting the same lesson until you truly learn it. The purpose of this test is simple but profound, to help you break free from cycles that no longer serve you. These patterns are your spiritual alarm clocks, waking you up to the parts of yourself that need transformation. They are not here to punish you, but to push you toward growth. So how do you pass the test of repeated patterns? The first step is awareness. Pay attention to the recurring themes in your life. What keeps happening, and how do you respond? Instead of blaming others or external circumstances, look inward. Ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? The second step is to change your response. Patterns persist because we react to them in the same way every time. To break the cycle, you must choose differently. This might mean setting boundaries, letting go of old habits, or confronting fears you've avoided. Growth often requires discomfort, but it's through this discomfort that you'll find freedom. Finally, trust that these patterns are part of your divine curriculum. They are not evidence of failure, but of a deeper lesson your soul is ready to master. When you face these patterns with courage and a willingness to change, you signal to the universe that you are ready to evolve. The test of repeated patterns challenges you to rise above the cycles of the past and step into a new way of being. Pass this test, and you will break free from the loops that have held you back, opening the door to a life of alignment and purpose. Test 4. The Test of Humility. The test of humility is one of the most transformative challenges a chosen one will face. It's not about humiliation or feeling small. It's about recognizing your place within the vast, intricate web of the divine and surrendering your ego-driven need for control. This test often feels like life pulling the rug out from under you, forcing you to confront your limitations and remember that you are a vessel for something far greater than yourself. Humility is not about weakness or self-deprecation. It's about balance. It's about understanding that while you are a unique and vital part of the universe, you are also one piece of a much larger puzzle. The chosen ones are often gifted with great insight, strength, or abilities, but these gifts can lead to ego if not tempered with humility. The universe steps in to remind you, you are powerful, but you are not the source of the power. This test often appears as moments of loss, failure, or vulnerability. Perhaps you lose something you deeply valued, status, a relationship, or a sense of control. It may feel like the world is against you, but in truth, these experiences are stripping away what is unnecessary, leaving only the essence of who you truly are. How do you pass the test of humility? Start by surrendering to the process. Let go of the illusion that you must always be in control or have all the answers. This doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting in the divine flow of life. Recognize that every challenge, every triumph is part of a greater plan that your human mind cannot fully comprehend. Next, practice gratitude. Even in moments of struggle, acknowledge the lessons and growth that these experiences bring. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to the ego's tendency to resist and resent. Finally, align yourself with service. Humility flourishes when you shift your focus from self-centered goals to contributing to the greater good. Ask yourself, how can I use my gifts to serve others? The test of humility calls you to step down from the throne of ego and take your rightful place as a co-creator with the divine. When you pass this test, you open yourself to true power, the kind that flows not from self-importance, but from alignment with the higher purpose you were chosen to fulfill. The test of patience. The test of patience is a subtle yet profound challenge that every chosen one must endure. It often feels like being trapped in a waiting room, watching your dreams, plans, or progress stall indefinitely. The more you try to push forward, the more life seems to resist. This test isn't about denying you what you desire. It's about teaching you to trust in divine timing and to let go of the illusion of control. Patience is one of the hardest spiritual virtues to cultivate because it requires faith in the unseen. The chosen ones are often gifted with visions of their purpose or future, but the path to realizing those visions is rarely quick or easy. You might find yourself asking, why is this taking so long? Why does it feel like nothing is happening? But here's the truth. Patience is the space where transformation occurs. The waiting period is not empty. It's where you are being refined, prepared, and strengthened for what lies ahead. This test shows up in countless ways. Perhaps you're working toward a goal that feels perpetually out of reach. Or maybe you're waiting for clarity about your next step. Life may seem to stall, forcing you to confront your impatience, frustration, and doubt. The purpose of this test is to teach you that your timing is not the same as divine timing, and that's okay. How do you pass the test of patience? First, surrender your timeline. Recognize that the universe is not withholding anything from you. It is aligning things in a way that serves your highest good. Trust that delays are not denials. They are opportunities for growth. Second, focus on the present. Patience thrives when you learn to find meaning and joy in the here and now, rather than obsessing over the future. Use this time to deepen your spiritual practices, cultivate gratitude, and hone your skills. Finally, embrace trust. Remind yourself that the universe has always been working for your benefit, even when it doesn't feel that way. Faith and patience go hand in hand. The test of patience is not about waiting for things to happen. It's about preparing yourself to receive them when the time is right. Pass this test, and you will find that when the moment arrives, you'll be more than ready to step into your purpose with grace and power. Test 6. The Test of Integrity. The test of integrity is a defining moment for every chosen one. It's not just a question of honesty. It's a challenge to stay true to your values, your truth, and your higher self, especially when doing so comes at a cost. Integrity means living in alignment with your soul's purpose, even when the world tempts you to compromise for convenience, gain, or approval. This test often appears when you are presented with opportunities that, on the surface, seem desirable, but come with strings attached. You may find yourself at a crossroads, asked to make choices that test your commitment to your spiritual path. Will you stay true to who you are, or will you take the easier route? This test is not about perfection. It's about authenticity. It's about choosing what is right over what is easy. For many chosen ones, the test of integrity feels like walking a tightrope. Society might encourage shortcuts, lies, or betrayals of your values for success or acceptance. You may even face moments where staying true to yourself isolates you or costs you relationships, money, or opportunities. These moments are painful but pivotal, shaping your spiritual strength and clarity. How do you pass the test of integrity? First, know your values. Take time to reflect on what truly matters to you, not what others expect or demand. Clarity about your core beliefs will guide you when you face difficult decisions. Second, resist the temptation to justify actions that go against your truth. The ego often whispers, "It's just this once," or "No one will know." But remember, your soul always knows. Living out of alignment may bring short-term comfort, but will lead to long-term disconnection from your higher self. Third, trust that staying true to your path will always lead to greater rewards, even if it doesn't seem like it in the moment. The universe honors authenticity, and when you act with integrity, you invite alignment, abundance, and peace into your life. The test of integrity challenges you to prioritize your spiritual truth over external pressures. Pass this test, and you become a beacon of authenticity, someone who leads by example and inspires others to honor their own truth. It's through this unwavering commitment to integrity that you step fully into your role as a chosen one. Test 7. The Test of Purpose. The test of purpose is one of the most deeply personal challenges a chosen one will face. It often begins as a quiet, persistent question. Why am I here? This test pushes you to seek, question, and ultimately embrace the unique mission your soul was sent to fulfill. It's not just about discovering your purpose. It's about living it, even when the path feels uncertain or overwhelming. Chosen ones are often born with an innate sense that they are meant for something more. But the clarity of what that something more is doesn't always come easily. Instead, This test presents itself as confusion, self-doubt, or even a sense of being lost. You may find yourself asking, am I on the right path? Or, what if I never find my true purpose? These questions aren't signs of failure. They are the very tools the universe uses to guide you toward your truth. This test can feel especially challenging when your purpose seems to conflict with societal expectations or the plans others have for you. You may feel the pull to follow your calling, but struggle with fear of judgment, failure, or inadequacy. The test of purpose isn't just about finding your mission. It's about having the courage to honor it. So how do you pass this test? First, silence the noise. Purpose doesn't shout, it whispers. Spend time in reflection, meditation, or prayer to tune into your inner voice. What are you naturally drawn to? What gifts have you been given? And how can they serve others? Your purpose often lies at the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, and how you can uplift others. Second, release the need for perfection. Your purpose is not about being flawless. It's about being authentic. Take small steps toward your calling, even if you're unsure of the outcome. Clarity comes through action, not overthinking. Finally, trust that your purpose will evolve as you grow. The universe reveals your mission one step at a time, often only when you're ready to receive it. Be patient with the process and faithful to your intuition. The test of purpose challenges you to claim your unique place in the divine tapestry of life. Pass this test and you'll find not just direction, but fulfillment. Knowing you are walking the path your soul was destined to take. Test 8. The test of detachment. The test of detachment is one of the most challenging and transformative spiritual trials a chosen one must face. It asks you to let go, not just of material things, but of relationships, beliefs, and even identities that no longer serve your higher purpose. Detachment is not about giving up. It's about releasing the need to cling, control, or define yourself by external circumstances. This test often comes when you least expect it. You may be called to let go of something or someone you hold dear. It might be a relationship that feels safe but keeps you stagnant, a job that provides security but stifles your soul, or even a long-held belief that no longer aligns with your evolving self. The pain of detachment comes from the fear of loss. But the truth is that letting go creates space for something greater. The test of detachment is not a test of how much you can endure, but of how much you are willing to trust. The universe is constantly guiding you toward alignment, but it cannot fill your life with new blessings if your hands are clinging tightly to the old. This test asks you to loosen your grip and trust that what is meant for you will stay, and what is not will leave to make room for your growth. So, how do you pass this test? Begin by recognizing that attachment often stems from fear of lack, fear of change, fear of the unknown. When you feel resistance to letting go, ask yourself, am I holding on because I truly need this, or because I'm afraid of what happens if I let it go? Next, practice gratitude for what was. Detachment doesn't mean denying the value of what you're releasing. It means honoring it and acknowledging the role it played in your journey. This gratitude allows you to let go with love instead of bitterness. Finally, cultivate trust in the divine process. Remind yourself that detachment is not about losing, but about evolving. The universe always replaces what you release with something more aligned to your highest good when you're ready to receive it. The test of detachment teaches you that freedom and peace come not from holding on, but from letting go. Pass this test, and you'll find that detachment is not an end, but a beginning. A gateway to living a life of flow, alignment, and divine abundance. Test 9. The Test of Trust in the Divine. The test of trust in the divine is one of the most profound and humbling trials a chosen one will encounter. It asks you to let go of logic, control, and certainty, stepping fully into faith. This test often comes in moments of darkness, when nothing makes sense, when all plans seem to fail, and when you're forced to rely on something greater than yourself. Trusting in the divine means believing that there is a purpose and a plan, even when the path ahead is shrouded in uncertainty. It's easy to trust when life is flowing smoothly, but this test challenges you in the moments when everything feels chaotic or stagnant. The universe asks, will you still trust me when the road ahead is unclear? Will you hold faith when you feel lost? This test often arises when you're at a crossroads, faced with decisions or circumstances where outcomes are beyond your control. You might feel abandoned or question if the universe is even listening. But this test is not about abandonment. It's about realignment. When you trust in the divine, you release the need to force outcomes and instead allow the universe to work through you and for you. How do you pass this test? Begin by surrendering your need for control. Understand that your perspective is limited compared to the infinite intelligence of the divine. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing resistance and aligning yourself with a higher flow. Next, cultivate trust through small, consistent acts of faith. Start by noticing the synchronicities and blessings in your daily life, no matter how small. These are signs that the universe is always guiding you. Practice stillness. Trust in the divine often becomes clearer in moments of quiet reflection. Meditate, pray, or simply sit in silence to reconnect with the higher power within and around you. Finally, remind yourself of the times when the universe has come through for you before. Reflect on the moments when, despite your doubts, things fell into place in ways you couldn't have predicted. The test of trust in the divine is a call to anchor yourself in faith, even when nothing else feels certain. Pass this test, and you'll discover an unshakable peace, knowing that the universe is always conspiring in your favor, even in the midst of uncertainty. Test 10. The Test of Love. The test of love is the ultimate spiritual trial for every chosen one. It is not just about romantic love or affection. It is about embodying unconditional love. Love that transcends personal gain, ego, or circumstance. This test calls you to love deeply and universally, even when it feels impossible, even when it requires immense courage and vulnerability. The test of love often arrives in the form of challenges that stretch your capacity for compassion. You may encounter people who hurt you, betray you, or test your patience. Or you may face situations where loving yourself feels like the hardest task of all. This test is not about perfection. It's about intention. The universe asks, can you love without expectation? Can you give and receive love without conditions? For chosen ones, this test is particularly profound because love is at the core of their mission. Whether it's through healing, teaching, or leading by example, you are here to channel divine love into the world. But before you can give this love to others, you must learn to embody it yourself. How do you pass the test of love? First, begin with self-love. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and the love you give to others must flow from a wellspring of love within. Self-love is not selfish. It is the foundation for all other forms of love. Treat yourself with the kindness, forgiveness, and understanding that you would offer to someone you deeply care for. Next, practice empathy and forgiveness. True love sees beyond actions and circumstances, recognizing the divine spark within every being. Forgive not because others deserve it, but because you deserve the peace that comes with releasing resentment. Empathy allows you to connect with others on a soul level, even when their behavior challenges you. Finally, love without attachment. Love is not about control or possession. It is about freedom. True love lets go and trusts, allowing others to be themselves and grow in their own time. The test of love is a call to embody the highest vibration of the divine. Pass this test, and you will become a beacon of love in a world that desperately needs it. You'll find that the more you give, the more you receive, creating a flow of love that uplifts everyone around you, including yourself. Embracing the journey. You've now walked with me through the 10 secret spiritual tests that only the chosen ones pass. These are not just tests, they are sacred initiations, each designed to transform you, awaken you, and align you with your highest purpose. But the journey doesn't end here. In truth, this path is a lifelong process of growth, discovery, and evolution. Being a chosen one is not about perfection. It's about perseverance. It's about rising each time you fall, learning from every challenge, and growing stronger with every trial. These tests, the isolation, the betrayal, the repeated patterns, the humility, the patience, the integrity, the purpose, the detachment, the trust, and the love are not punishments. They are blessings in disguise, preparing you to embody the divine purpose that you were sent here to fulfill. Take a moment to reflect. How many of these tests have you faced already? Which ones are you walking through right now? Perhaps you're in the midst of isolation, feeling alone, but beginning to understand its sacred purpose. Or maybe you're wrestling with the test of trust, learning to let go of control and believe in the divine plan. Wherever you are on this journey, know that you are exactly where you are meant to be. And here's the most beautiful truth: you are never alone. While the path of the chosen one can feel isolating, remember that others are walking their own versions of this journey. The universe has chosen you, not because you are perfect, but because you are capable, because you are willing, because you are ready to rise. Embracing this journey means accepting the challenges as part of your sacred calling. It means shifting your perspective and seeing the tests not as obstacles, but as stepping stones to becoming who you are meant to be. Trust the process, no matter how difficult it seems, because every test you pass is another step toward your awakening, another step toward fulfilling your divine mission. I encourage you to move forward with courage and an open heart. Seek out moments of stillness and reflection. Honor your progress, no matter how small it may seem. And most importantly, share your light. The world needs chosen ones now more than ever. People like you who can lead, inspire, and heal. Remember, this journey is not a race. It is a sacred unfolding. Trust the timing, honor the lessons, and embrace the person you are becoming. You are chosen, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Walk forward boldly, knowing that the universe is with you every step of the way. Your journey is just beginning. Now, go forth and shine. The world is waiting for you.